Paul, just wanted to thank you for choosing Optima Windows and Doors. What made you first realize it was time to upgrade your windows and doors?
Well, in our subdivision, we were pretty much the last to do it. And it was colder in the winter and hotter in the summer, and realized I think you need to make an investment.
When you started looking for a company to handle this project, what were some of your biggest concerns or fears?
I really wanted somebody to work with and not just give me a price. I wanted a quality window. I actually had an opportunity through a relative to get a different type of window, and it didn't meet the needs I wanted. I wanted to make sure it was easy enough to clean. A lot of the windows I'd looked at prior to were difficult to open, to clean. So I investigated a few different companies.
How did your initial sales consultation go compared to your expectation?
Actually, I didn't have a lot of expectations. I had Randy come over, and very personable guy. He really knew what he was talking about, and he took the time to literally show us the windows. Time and detail that Randy gave to me was one of the turning points. I met with Randy, the rep, and then he priced it. The price was right in range with the others, but it's the quality of the windows for me that I went, okay. And if the reviews meet with what he's saying, I should be okay. And it worked out quite well.
Did our sales team help clarify all of the technical options with you without making you feel pressured to make a decision?
I just knew I wanted a good, high quality double or triple pane. Wasn't sure if I was going to get the triple. I ended up getting that. Randy, you suggested we even go to the factory to check it out, which we did. And even the people there were showing us how the windows opened. And besides the window you showed at our house here, we got to see more. And it was based off of that. That really solidified what we were going to do.
We know that we're not the cheapest option on the market. So what was it about our presentation or product or approach that made you confident and want to invest with us?
I actually think it was a combination of all that. Don't rely on reviews a whole lot, even when I travel or anything like that. But your reviews were really positive. And then you yourself knew what you're talking about. You had the experience, and I didn't feel pressured from you. You were just trying to educate me. Like I said, I had 3-4 other quotes. And then there was, at the time, I was fortunate to take advantage of a promotion on, which was the triple pane windows. And between that and then seeing the facility, and I felt comfortable with it.
Okay, so let's talk about your installation day. What was your first impression when the crew arrived?
8 of them showed up at once on time, which they said they were going to be. And they're coming in from Toronto, and then we're in Hamilton. And that I was surprised with that. My first impression was quite interesting, because they started upstairs in our bedroom. A couple of guys had drop sheets, and they started tucking them underneath the baseboards. And I'm wondering, I'm going, what the heck they're doing? So I asked him, I says, you don't have to do any of the baseboards. He says, no. He says, we want to make sure everything stays clean. And so from that point on, I was around for the whole installation. And the guys were extremely courteous, cleaning up after themselves, steady and very helpful, asked me questions and a couple of suggestions. I was actually quite blown away with the entire team. Everyone on the crew, they worked as a team. They were just busy bees the whole time and never stopped. It was quite impressive.
The window and door replacement process can be messy. How well do you think we did in respect to your home and cleanup after all of the process was done?
Like I said, handling the cleanup process, it was an ongoing process for them. The one night I realized they worked longer than I assumed they had planned. And I told them, leave everything. They would not. They wanted to clean up. I said, you're going to start again tomorrow, the same mess. But they were insistent on that. And they always, it seemed they had one of their crews was always cleaning up from the room they just left. I'm talking to even washing the floors, vacuuming and washing the floors. It was stuff like that really amazed and impressed me. It was above and beyond as far as I was concerned. But I guess from finding out after the fact, it's pretty standard procedure for your firm.
Did the installers keep you up to date throughout the process and answer any of your questions that you had?
I'm always comfortable talking to people about things, and whether it's a mechanic asking what's going on, the window guys, the odd time they asked my opinion on a couple of areas, how I wanted something, which was great. So they were very easy to deal with.
How would you describe the overall craftsmanship and attention to detail with the overall installation process?
Attention to detail was above my expectations. We have a large window with a big arc, and they came to me and showed me a couple of options of the finishing trim. It was better than what I had before, and said, would you like this or this? There's a couple of areas, naturally, the paint was damaged. So I said to my wife, I said, I've got a week later, I'm going to be busy doing touching up and everything else. without knowing. I guess the lead guy went to a paint shop, matched the paint in 2 different rooms. And then I saw them, they were finishing it. They put 3 coats of finish of sanding it, and then they painted it and did 2 coats of painting it. That was a huge wow factor for me. It's something I didn't expect. Again, for them, it seemed like very normal routine, and that impressed me. And I've shared that story with a lot of people.
Now that everything is finished, what is the most noticeable difference in your comfort or the experience in your home?
Well, actually, in both, it's happened. Comfort is far greater than I thought. Installed in the winter, and we noticed a difference immediately. Just wasn't as cold around any of the openings. And then now we're in the warm weather. The other day it was 32, 33 degrees. Our air conditioner isn't running at all. And my wife, she'll sit here and face the windows rather than our view out in the back. She just loves the final product on the exterior. She really does. So it's been a win-win for all of us.
We proudly stand behind our 25-year warranty. How much peace of mind does that give you knowing that we're going to be here for the long haul?
Actually, a lot. And I had a thing happen to me a couple weeks ago. I needed to get my patio doors taken out to move some furniture. I gave you a call, Randy, and you were kind enough to send a crew down to come in and actually remove the doors for me. And there was no extra charge. And because of things like that, I'm going, yeah, you do have a true 25-year warranty.
If a friend or a neighbor were on the fence about choosing a premium option or going with a budget option, what would be your advice to give to them?
Well, I've actually talked to a couple of friends about it already in terms of my experience. It's worth it, hands down. I've already referred a couple of people. I'm very comfortable sharing that with others.
Paul, we just wanted to thank you for choosing Optima. We really enjoyed working with someone like you.